All right. So welcome to Get Involved Engagement and Extracurricular Opportunities at Wake Tech. My name is Allegra Maudlin. I'm an academic advisor located on the Southern Wake campus at Wake Tech. And joining me today, we have Passion Blake from our Fostering Bright Futures program, William Kinsey from Pathways Success Scholars, and Ian Brown from our Wake Tech Honors program that are going to be speaking to you today. So I really want to kick things off by letting you know that your participation in extracurricular opportunities does matter. It has many benefits for you and your community, so I'll just cover a few. First, it's an opportunity to receive support from your Wake Tech community. So we have so many services and programs at Wake Tech that are available to you, not just to support you academically, but personally on an individual level, whether that is individual mental health needs, food support, housing support, getting involved in a mentoring group. We have resources here that can benefit you within Wake Tech that are available and free for your use. By getting involved in extracurricular activities, you also have access to so many resources. So again, tying back into that support piece, you're going to have access to resources that can help you on your education journey, not just in the classroom, but outside as well in your individual lives. It's also an opportunity for networking. So whether you're trying to get connected to people who can help you with your career and employment goals, or your education goals for transferring or continuing your education to a higher level institution, getting involved is an opportunity to get to know people who can speak on your behalf, provide you recommendation letters, and support you on your journey. And getting involved is an opportunity to give back to your community. So it is an opportunity for you to feel good about what you're doing in the world around you and how you're giving back to Wake Tech or the Triangle area or beyond. And it's an opportunity to enhance resume and job applications. So getting involved in extracurricular activities can really boost how you look to a potential employer for professional development purposes. It can also look good on applications to universities if you're planning to transfer. These are just a few of the reasons why your participation in extracurricular activities and groups really does matter. And I'm going to hand it over to Passion now to talk to you a little bit about the Fostering Bright Futures program.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks so much, Allegra, for inviting us over. I am Passion Blake, the coordinator of Fostering Bright Futures. Next slide. And I'm here to talk to you a little bit about our program. First of all, I'm excited to always meet with students. Fostering Bright Futures serves a very special purpose at the college, and our mission is to help any young person that has been affected by the foster care system here in the entire state of North Carolina establish a good support team around them while they're here at Wake Tech. And I know a lot of times we'll have students that come out of the foster care system and just aren't sure. We'll be sure that we all weren't sure when we went to college and we all needed support. So this program is really special because there's only 3 of us in the country that serve this purpose to support you on your transition, whether you were in foster care for one day or years. So our goal is to help you get an education, learn your space here at Wake Tech. We want to decrease the number of students we see dropping out of high school. We also want to make sure that we're helping you learn those life skills and those financial independence skills. So we work with a lot of the other resources at the college to make sure that you have those spaces, kind of fill those holes that you may not have had support in. Next slide. To be a part of our program, we're really excited that we can take students from any county. I have some new students coming in from the western part of the state. You can be completely online or here in person in the Raleigh area. We've also increased our age range. It was 18 to 24. Now it's 16 to 25 because we're hoping to get some of those younger students maybe coming in through CCP or actually getting their GEDs. So we want to open that space up again for all students and be a service there. You have to be accepted into Wake Tech, of course, and then I usually bring new students in between October 15th and February 15th. Doesn't mean we can't start having a conversation and getting you ready to join us, but that's usually when we bring all of our new students in. obviously having your high school diploma or your GED, and completing our criteria for joining us and attending our mandatory new student orientation, which covers a lot of the things that you'll see here today, making sure you know your resources, making sure you know how we can support you every day. And if you're obviously already a current enrolled student, we're happy to have you join us at any time. Next slide. So a lot of people say, what can FBF do for me? That's the question I get every week from students. And so my biggest job is to advocate on your behalf. Again, college is such a journey. It doesn't matter your background, where you came from. It's a journey for everybody. And I'm sure everybody on this call, my colleagues, can agree that we all needed someone to support us and advocate on our behalf. So my job is to advocate in the classroom with your instructors. My job is to make sure that you learn what healthy connection is. And so I will do that by demonstrating that to you. So if you're having an issue in financial aid, it's my job to support you in working through that, and for you not to feel alone in that, and to make sure that I'm providing you with community resources. We have quite a few partnerships in the community. So if there's something you were to need, or, sometimes it's small, sometimes maybe it's to learn how to open a bank account, maybe it's to buy your first car. It's my job to advocate on your behalf. And we do utilize a team support role. A few people on this call are certainly a part of my support team that help my students every day, whether it's Allegra over in academic advising, whether it's Terry over in financial aid. Each student has a support team that's built around them to help you during your time at Wake Tech. We also do professional and personal development. It's so important for you to reach out and fill that tool bag while you're in college. I can't tell you, I'm still learning every day, always learning something new to put in my tool bag. And this is the ground floor for you to explore those tools to see what you might be able to use once you're headed out into the world to live your purpose. We also do some student engagement. We do our orientations. We're excited to do that in person this year. We get together, we have support groups and different things like that. And we also can help you get internships. Because we specialize in supporting this population, we're able to kind of hone in on what you're really looking for and support you again in making those connections, networking in the community, and getting some hands-on experience out in the community. And we also provide all of our new students with a laptop, because we know how important that is, especially in this virtual world we're living in right now. So we want to make sure, again, that you have everything you need to be successful during your time here at Wake Tech. Next slide. And this is just a quick image of what that can look like depending on your needs. Everybody's needs is different. Everybody needs a support team. So we as FBF always serve as the connector. If you need to talk to wellness, I'm happy to send out an email. If we need community resources, I'm happy to help you complete an application and send that out. I'm happy to sit in academic advising meetings. And a lot of times people say, that just seems like a lot, but that's our job. Our job is to make sure you're successful. And so that's just a little image of what that might look like if you join our program. Next slide. And just some of the resources we have on campus. We have our ILC, career and employment resources, student money management, our wellness counselors. We also have additional math and English tutors, because we know sometimes those subjects can be a little tough sometimes. And we also provide mentors for our students, because again, we want you to have a support team of people, a space where you can share and, work through those challenges, because they will come. They come in different forms every so often. And so we want to make sure that hey, I can reach out to Passion. I can reach out to my mentor. I can reach out to my academic advisor if I feel like I'm not in the right major, and have those healthy conversations. Outside, we work with Dress for Success, the Interfaith Food Shuttle, the Green Chair Project, where we can help you get some furniture for your first place at a fair, low cost. We work with Wake County Human Services, and also, like I mentioned before, Wheels for Hope. They support us in helping our students get cars. So we have a lot of partnerships, and we're always happy to reach out to them for your needs. Next slide. Right. And so for me, the biggest thing is connection, learning how to have that healthy connection with people. I believe that if you learn that in college, you can take that here beyond. And when you go off to your career or whatever you decide, you'll learn how to make those connections. And so I really love this definition from Brem Brown. It says that I define connection as the energy that exists between people when they feel heard, seen, heard, and valued, when they can give and receive without judgment, and when they derive sustenance and strength from the relationship. And that's my goal every day, not only for Fostering Bright Futures, but for all of you to feel seen, heard, and valued. And I look forward to working with you. And even if you're not coming out of foster care, I've never spent a day in foster care, if you see me around campus, need anything, I'm happy to assist. There's my contact information. If anybody has any questions for me, feel free to ask them. I look forward to working with each and every one of you. Allegra, thank you for having me today.
Thank you so much, Passion. And now we are going to transition over to William Kinsey, and we'll do questions at the end. So if you do have anything, feel free to put it in the chat box if you want to go ahead and get that question out there, or at the end, you can unmute yourself and we'll have a good conversation together.
Good morning, everyone. It is a pleasure, Allegra. Thank you so much for the invite. And to students and colleagues on the call again, it is definitely a pleasure. I want to come to you all at this time to talk with you a little bit about what we are doing, the Pathway Success Scholars Program around minority male success. The Minority Male Mentoring Program, which it was first called, started in 2006 with a pilot of 6 community colleges. And Wait Tech wasn't a part of those first 6, but Wait Tech soon became a part. So by 2008, Wait Tech established its program, and I did have the opportunity to actually come in and get that program going or get the program established. So I'm very thrilled to see how our program has evolved over time. This program is not only the Minority Male Success Initiative, which it is now called, is not only a program that's at Wait Tech, but there are several participating community colleges within the North Carolina Community College system that have a minority male success initiative. We just have a different name, different, of course, demographics, different branding and things of that nature. However, the intentions or the goals are still the same, and that is for our minority male persistence, retention, and success. So at this time, I'm very happy to shed light on the work that we are doing here locally at Wait Tech in the area of minority male success. And so I want to focus my short, brief time with you all today on what we're doing around mentoring and coaching here at Wait Tech. And we consider that the formula or our formula for our students' success. Next slide, please. So very, very simple, just simplifying our mission. If you want to see a more comprehensive mission statement, if you would go to pathways.waittech.edu, you can actually go through and read all the great information on there, which includes more specifics on our mission. But just to keep it plain and simple, our mission is ultimately to engage, to empower, and to equip. Engagement is very, very important. And Allegra, you actually alluded to this earlier, but getting students engaged. So getting our minority male students engaged, letting them know that we're here, letting them know that there is a support system and that it's okay to ask for help and that they don't have to do it alone. And so engaging them through weekly success coaching or one-on-one conversations tailored towards what they are looking to do for their desired career pathway, and then putting together a success plan, which I'll talk about in a little bit. Those are ways that we engage our students, in addition to other virtual programming and some in-person programming, hopefully for the spring. Empowering kind of goes along with our whole approach to success coaching, really helping the students pull out what those strengths are, helping them to pull out what their passion is, and then helping them to get connected to that passion. So whether it's through another peer here on campus, whether it is through a faculty member or one of our faculty mentors, or whether it's through some type of educational experience, we want to do our part in empowering our students, because research definitely shows that empowerment, by empowering students and with them knowing where they're going, then that definitely is a part of that formula for student success. And then lastly, equipping. And so, similar to what Passion was talking about with advocacy, that's one of the big things that we do. And so, by advocating for our student participants, in addition to that engagement piece and that empowerment piece, we know that they will be equipped once they leave our doors. And the ultimate goal is for students to be able to take care of themselves, to land gainful employment. If they are looking at transferring to a 4-year school, equipping them with the skill set that they need, not just in the classroom, but a more well-rounded, a more holistic formula for equipment. And so that's what we look to do. We look to engage, empower, and equip our guys so that when they leave here, they are ready for the next step. Next slide, please. So just to kind of shed light a little bit on our program, currently we have about 60 young men in our program. We do reach out to a larger cohort here at the college to include all of our minority male students, but we do have 60 that have in particular expressed an interest in having either the one-on-one or the group coaching or the leadership opportunities, the mentoring or what have you. And so to give you an idea of the guys in our program and what our courses of study look like. As you can see in the pie chart in front of you, just looking at the color codes, we have almost 50% of our students are in an applied associate of applied science program, which is very different. Typically, we have mostly for most years we have had majority college transfer students, but now I think it's a great thing though to see that we have several associate of applied science students because that lets us know what it is that we need to do and the type of programming that perhaps we need to do because many of these guys, once they finish here, they're going directly on to work. So that's one of the things that we look at in our coaching sessions with the sessions that we provide, making sure that we are touching on opportunities and that we're connecting them with people that are in those hands-on careers. In addition, however, as you can see, we do have students that are college transfer as well. So we definitely try to make sure that in our programming, whether virtual or in person, which will be for the spring, that we are giving those opportunities as well, that we are helping to make those connections as well. So that just gives you a little insight into how our guys look in relation to courses of study. Next slide, please. So again, I spoke earlier about the engagement and I talked a little bit about our virtual group sessions. I talked a little bit about our one-on-one mentoring. So our formula for engagement, the way that we do it with the guys in our program, each student is placed into a tier. So our tier one students are our peer mentoring team. So they receive leadership development from our Office of Volunteerism and Leadership Coordinator. So that's the first Friday of every month for that leadership development piece. Our tier two are our success scholars in the program that are not in leadership, but that do have 1 or more years here at the college. And so those students actually engage in our Friday coaching sessions, but those are sessions that are more so geared towards them, those students that are coming close to the end of their time. So we are much more intentional about making sure that we are connecting them with experiences that align with their pathway. We're also looking at our more higher level resources that support them academically in our 100 level or above courses. And then our tier three students, those are our first year students. So a lot of the resources that we bring to those students in their virtual coaching sessions are introduction. So introduction to the ILC, introduction to our student support services. And so our student support services, we actually share that information with all of our students, but we are much more intentional about that tier three group because they are in their very first year. So we want to make sure that we are giving them those very valuable things that are going to in the area of student support that's going to help them remain. So that's how we engage our students that are in our program. Next slide, please. So, a big piece of what we do now is in the form of success coaching. We do have a full-time success coach that actually reaches out to all of our students on a one-on-one basis to put together a success plan, to find out what their goals are, If they're in the right major, making sure that, they have been to an academic advisor, making sure that they're on track, making sure that they're taking courses that are in their plan of study. And so with that success coach, again, that's another form of empowerment where we have those needed conversations with them to make sure, that they are in the areas of time management, in the areas of being able to handle all of their responsibilities, and that they set some kind of standards for themselves. So, just for anything from the quality of work to meeting deadlines, developing a plan, and then seeking out opportunities for their success, seeking out those experiences early on, because a lot of the times those early experiences definitely will either seal the deal as far as the major they have chosen, or it will actually inform them that perhaps they should do a little more career development or career exploration, if you will, and look to tailor their program of study towards something that more closely fits their skills and interests. And then lastly, with our success coaching, a big piece before that whole success planning one-on-one time is over is to connect them to much needed resources that they may need at that moment. Next slide. So another thing that we're doing this year is that we do have a team of faculty mentors. We've tried this before, but this time this year we have definitely gone in and we have revised things. So we have mentors that are assigned to each of our tiers. So our peer mentoring team actually consists of 4 students, and out of that 4, we have 3 students that are outreach officers. So our outreach officers are actually grouped with our faculty mentors. So our outreach officers are grouped with 2 or 3 of our faculty mentors, and together as a group, they serve those students. Most of the time right now, since we've just started this new approach on a one-on-one basis. But what we're seeing is that it's breaking a lot of barriers as relates to students not being apprehensive about reaching out to the instructor and using the instructor as their first line of defense when they are having issues in classes. So this is something that's brand new. So our tiers set up along with our faculty mentors, but we're very excited that we can actually let students know when you join our program, not only are you assigned a peer mentor that's going to keep you engaged, but you are also assigned a faculty mentor as well that's going to make sure that the track that you're on is the track that you are serious about, that it matches your skills, that it matches your interests. And also the faculty mentor is much more instrumental and intentional in connecting them to persons that are along their desired career pathway. So in meeting with the faculty mentors, of course, transparent conversations, just as with our program staff, the faculty mentoring provides that. Also, as a program, consistent weekly communication with our students is what we do. The relevant programming, networking, leadership opportunities, priority or early registration, and some book or tuition assistance. So we're very excited about being able to evolve in the services that we provide to help equip our success scholars. Next slide. We have a very close partnership and have for quite some time with our career and employment resources area. So we share in that same sentiment with passion with the Fostering Bright Futures program. And so our current partnerships, again, are partnerships with our career and employment resources division. So the way that that has looked in the past and the way we're hoping that we can get back to are things such as our industry road tours, where we actually take students to industries for a day, to 2 industries for a day, to actually tour those industries and engage in conversation and Q&A with various professionals that work at those industries. That also includes our annual Careers in Sports Day, where we spend a day with the Charlotte Hornets, talk with the team executives there, take students that are interested in sports management, and things of that nature that relate to career opportunities in professional sports. A newer initiative that or pathway initiative, I like to call it, that we are involved in is called TrapView. And TrapView is nothing more than a career matching initiative. And so TrapView is for students that are interested in network management. So there are 2 students at the college that are participating in this pilot with TrapView. And both of those students are a part of the Pathways program. And so one of the students is getting ready to complete his time with TrapView and graduate in December. He's actually one of our peer mentors. And then we have another second student of ours that's in network management that also is a part of the trap view. And so with trap view, they are connected or paired with a mentor that's in the network management field, and they are getting good firsthand experience and close one-on-one mentoring with that. And then lastly, another new partnership that we have is with Wait Tech's Start Mentoring Program. And so that's nothing more than a program. It's STEM. It stands for STEM Academic Research and Training. So that actually pairs students in our program with research experiences with faculty here at Wake Tech. And so we are very excited to be able to connect our guys to that. And we do have one guy that has been selected and chosen for that opportunity this semester. Next slide. So if you all have any other questions or any other inquiries, there's our contact information there, myself as well as our full-time success coach. I encourage you to browse around on our website, and please know that we are on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as far as social media platforms, and there's our social media handle there. So thanks again, Allegra, for the opportunity, and thank you all for listening.
Thank you so much. And now I'm going to hand things over to Ian Brown, who's here to talk to us about the Wake Tech Honors Program.
Hello, good morning, everybody. And thanks again, Allegra, for the invitation. Glad to be here to talk about the honors program here at Wake Tech. Please go ahead. Next slide. So the honors program was started about 2008, and it was designed as an academic enrichment program for students to give them opportunities to go beyond what they're doing in their regular courses and to demonstrate their academic abilities working on projects with their instructors in particular. And it's designed to really help the students to get that kind of experience, but also to kind of boost their resumes and their applications when it's time for them to transfer to another institution. And this can also assist them as well when they are considering applications for jobs, internships, etc. Now, our program is very different. It's not like many of the other honors programs that exist at other colleges and universities. We follow a project model instead of a cohort model. And the reason is our structure here at Wake Tech does not facilitate honors courses or designated honors courses. We rely actually on faculty members, the students, instructors, to facilitate the students working in their courses to complete these honors projects. So the most important things would be for the student to work with the instructor to design a project, develop good communication with their faculty mentors, and work through the project based on what's laid out in what we have as our primary guide, which is the honors contract. And I'll talk a little bit more about that. Next slide. So in terms of applying for the program, first of all, it's open to students who are primarily enrolled in any of the traditional college transfer degree programs. So we're talking about associate in arts, associate in science, associate in engineering, associate in fine arts. Rarely target students who are enrolled in other degree programs, such as the associate and applied science programs, primarily because many of those programs students already have additional requirements for their degree, and this actually is doing more than actually is required for their degree. That being said, we don't turn them away. As the program is structured, we will facilitate any student who is enrolled in a college transfer course, and that's regardless of the program in which they're enrolled. So the students will apply to the program. We generally send out an invitation to students who qualify simply based on their GPA, and our minimum requirement is 3.3. So at the beginning of the fall and spring semester each year, we send out invitations to students who qualify, and they can submit an application simply by going to our website. It's listed there. And on the website, they will find all the instructions for applying. In addition to that, they'll also find a checklist of all the items that are required for them to submit with their applications. And the basic things we require are 2 letters of recommendation from faculty, preferably from faculty members, but we'll also accept recommendations from other individuals. And the students will be required to complete an essay as part of their application. And that's all laid out in the application directions. Once we receive their applications, myself and Justin Eatman, who's the other director for the program, we will review and confirm the students' GPAs, we'll evaluate all their documents, and then we will contact the students to let them know what the decision is. We try to encourage students as much as possible to improve on their applications if there are any issues, to give them the opportunity to participate. So as long as there's time available, we will send the applications back and tell them, okay, you need to improve on your essay, or something is not clear here, or you may need to submit additional information. In some instances, we may also require students to provide a copy of their transcript because we may not have all the information we need as far as their GPA records. For example, we do accept students who are first-time students as well, in addition to students who have been at Wake Tech for a while. But most of the students who are entering for the first time are coming straight from high school. So there's no record of their, well, there's no GPA record here at Wake Tech for them, having not done any courses here at Wake Tech. So we will require their high school GPA, and in some instances, we will request a copy of their transcript. Next slide. Once a student has been accepted into the program, we do have a Blackboard course in which we enroll them, and this is primarily to allow them to receive all the information that they need, in addition to facilitate them completing their requirements as far as all the paperwork that's necessary. It's not really a lot of paperwork, it's just easy to set it up in this way. So we actually set it up as assignments in Blackboard for them to submit all the documents that are required for each semester. Once that's done, the students can select one of their courses to serve as their honors course. Any one of the college transfer courses they're enrolled in. And then we ask them to speak with their instructor. So have a conversation with the instructor to let them know that they have been accepted into the honors program and they would like to complete a project for that course. We rely heavily on the instructors, as I said earlier, because we don't have designated courses. And so the instructor's role is really voluntary. So we encourage the students to have a conversation and encourage the instructor to facilitate them, but also to remind the instructor that they, the student, will be the ones to do the lion's share, as it were, of the work. We don't want the instructors to be too heavily involved, but we want their guidance on the project, because we want the projects to align well with the objectives of the course, considering that the student is doing a project which goes beyond what's already required for the course. We have an honors contract that we have the students complete along with the instructor, so the instructor can guide them in that. And the contract really is just to ensure that there are, well, all the expectations are understood. So the instructor knows exactly what the student is required to do. The student knows exactly what the instructor expects. And we encourage students to work with the instructor to set goals for the project, as well as to carefully identify project activities and timelines. One of the things we try to guard against is having students get too involved in the projects and the projects become overblown and it becomes too much busy work, because we still want the students to graduate. We still want them to maintain their GPAs, right? We don't want this to become a burden. And so we want them to organize carefully so that the projects can be managed well. And then once we review the contracts and approve them, then the student can begin. If there's an issue, we'll send the student, we'll contact the student and possibly send the contract back and say, well, okay, these are areas that you'd need to probably improve on. And as long as time allows, we will have those contracts coming in and approve the student to continue or begin their project. Next slide. And so the general requirement is that each student in our program will complete one project, one honors project each semester. And the honors project, as I said earlier, they can take many different forms. Generally, it's the scope of the project involves um, a focus on topics or concepts that are covered in the course that go beyond or above what's already required for the course. And it could simply be something like a topic that the instructor does not really have much time to dive into in the time that's allowed for the course. Another requirement we have is that the students should complete 6 to 8 hours of volunteer service each semester. We have waived this requirement since spring of 2020 because of the pandemic. However, this semester, this fall semester, we reintroduced that requirement primarily for our graduating students because we wanted them to have that added experience, which they could, include if they would like to, when it's time for them to submit applications, transfer applications, etc. At the end of each semester, we require the students to present their projects. We generally would have a mini poster symposium. So the students would create posters of their project work. And when we have a symposium that we would have them present at. So there are 2 campus groups, one for the Southern Wake campus and one for the Northern Wake campus. And so we'd have 2 presentation sessions at the end of each semester. For the past year, we've transitioned to having this in a virtual format, which has gone very well. So the students now create PowerPoint presentations or video presentations of their projects, and we present that virtually. And that's been received very well, and it has also pushed the students to get very creative with their presentations, and we've seen some very great results. Another requirement is that the students should earn at minimum grade of B in their honors course. That's the course that they have selected for their project. And of course, we do require them to maintain their GPA at that minimum 3.3, which is required for entry into the program. And so those final 2 points are very, very key in determining how the student or whether or not the student can continue in the program. Because if their GPA falls, clearly they're no longer eligible. But although we have a minimum GPA of 3.3, we also encourage the students to work at improving that GPA. And this is one of the things that the program is also designed for. So although we tend to attract high achieving students, we also have seen students who have come in just above that 3.3, but over the time that they've spent within the program, we've seen students who have improved academically. And that's one of our major goals. Next. So having completed all the requirements, the students will receive a notation on their transcript that identifies that they have met the requirements for being in the program and they've maintained their good standing. At the moment, we do not have notations for specific courses that the students have selected. That's something that we're considering, but within our current structure, that's not where we are just yet. But the students still will receive a general notation for each semester that they have completed all the requirements in the program. Our students also receive early registration as part of the benefit for being in the program. We do encourage them to build relationships with their instructors because these are generally the folks who will be the ones that they can rely on to provide recommendations for, again, if needed, applications for transfer, applications for internships, for employment, etc. Or if the student would like to engage in other types of projects with instructors, beyond graduating. So we encourage them to build those kinds of relationships. In our database, we have all the information on the student in terms of all the projects that they've completed, and so if the student requires a recommendation from the program itself, any one of us as directors can provide that as the student requests them. And then we also provide honor scores for our students so they can be recognized during graduation. And the students will earn these having completed a minimum of 3 honors projects throughout the duration of their time in the program. So we have the blue and gold honors cords that they can wear with their regalia as they participate in the graduation ceremony. Next slide. So this is just a snippet of some of the projects that we have our students completed. This was just taken from the fall 2020 and spring 2021 semester. We have students participating in a variety of disciplines, primarily across the 2 main transfer divisions, which would be arts, humanities, social sciences, and maths and sciences, and engineering. And so these are some of the projects that students have completed. Next slide. As I said, this is just a snippet. They have been, we have at least 30 to 60 projects each semester, depending on the number of students that we have approved to continue. If you'd like more information about the various types of projects, that can be provided. We're actually working on having much of this information now available on our website so that anyone who's interested in seeing what the honor students have done over the years or in recent semesters, they can go there and view some of the presentations. If not the full presentations, at least they'll get the project titles. Next slide. Now, in terms of external associations, we are members of the North Carolina Honors Association. We joined this organization a few years ago, and the NCHA is a consortium of honors colleges and honors programs within the state of North Carolina, and that includes community colleges as well as other colleges and universities, four-year institutions. And they do have as their main activity an annual conference each fall. It's actually taking place this week, starting tomorrow. But the NCHA conference is actually it's designed to provide opportunities for honor students, primarily all across the state, to come together and to share about all the various activities that they are engaged in within their honors programs and honors colleges, academically, as well as some of the volunteer opportunities that they have been involved in. Some honors colleges have also been involved in work and study abroad programs, and so they will share about how all that works. And then students can present about some of the work and the projects that they have been doing within their programs. And so it's a conference organized by students and run by students. So it's the honor students who are the ones who chair the meetings, the sessions, and honor students are the ones who are presenting. So it facilitates that collaboration. The faculty members are just there as the guides. And the students can present orally or they can present using posters. And based on what they've got in terms of sponsorship, they do try to provide awards for the various presentations that the students create or present during the meeting. So we've participated in this, and this is one of the activities that we encourage our students to get involved in. There is a cost, but it's generally very, very affordable because it's designed for students. So this is an opportunity for the students to not just complete their projects here at Wake Tech, but to actually share what they've done beyond our college. Next slide. We also have an additional event which is in the spring semester each year, and this is organized by the Lloyd International Honors College at the University of North Carolina at Greensboro. And UNCG's honors conference or honors symposium has been, they've been going for several years now. And we have participated in this as well. And it's similar again to the NCHA conference. The students will have opportunities to present on the various types of projects that they are working on within their programs. And this actually attracts students more within our region rather than statewide. But and so it's very easy for our students to attend. We've been to the most recent the most recent in-person meeting that they had. And we've also attended last year or this year as well, virtually. So we've had a couple of our students who actually participated in this. But the only difference with this one is that the students are only allowed to do oral presentations. They do not allow posters. But again, it gives the students opportunities to get that kind of exposure and that kind of experience to talk about their projects, present their projects, not only to students, but to faculty as well. And they do offer awards as well for best presentations and other types of awards. One of our students last year received an award. He actually got a honorable mention award as one of the few community college students who actually participated. So we're very, very proud of that. Next slide. So generally, we have the 3 C's of our typical semester for our honor students. First, they contact their faculty advisors because we need them to have that conversation to come up with a project, to decide on what they want to do. And then once they've done that, they can work with the instructor to set out all the goals and activities in that contract. And then once all of that is settled, we have them just simply working to complete their projects, making sure that they're engaged in their classes and still earning the A's and the B's that are required, completing the community service as required, and also to present their projects at the end of the semester. Most projects will or can be completed within 10 to 12 weeks, and that's kind of the period that we try to work with. So we give a little time from the beginning of the semester to get them started. So we have about 3 to 4 weeks from the start of each semester to ensure that all of the applications and the contacts and the discussions can be in place to ensure that the projects are secured, and then the students can begin working. And we try to have that final presentation near the end of the semester before final exams so that the students will have time to focus on their exams. Next slide. So how does the student get involved? Simply they can contact us, the program directors. I am the director for the Southern Wake campus. Justin Eatman is the director for the Northern Wake campus, but the program is open to students on any campus or affiliated with any campus. These are just the 2 locations that we would have our physical meetings in the past. Over the last year, obviously, we've not been having physical meetings, but the student can still align with any one of the campus groups that they prefer. As I said earlier, we generally invite students to join the program at the beginning of each semester, but any student can contact us at any time if they're interested to learn more about the program, and they can also submit an application at any time. What we will try to do is try to complete the application process so that the student can join the program in that semester, or in that, in the closest, at the beginning of the closest semester that's coming up. So if we get the applications a little too late, we simply just forward them to the following semester, and we let the students know. We also encourage them to discuss potential project options with faculty. There are many faculty members who have been associated with the program for a long time, and many of them actually do have projects already on hand that they would want students to work on. And so if a student just expresses an interest and has no idea what kind of project to complete, very often the faculty members or some faculty members will already have projects available that they can have the students working on. And we ask the students to carefully consider what they would like to do in terms of the projects. Think about the courses, think about the learning objectives, think about their interests, because we do want the projects to align well with the students' interests. We certainly don't want them to get involved in just doing a project and they're not that particularly interested in the ideas, the concepts, just for the sake of doing a project. We want them to engage in something that's really gonna keep them engaged, keep them interested, and we also encourage them to consider projects not only to complete for the honors program, but projects that their students in the classes can also benefit from, because quite often we have instructors have their honor students complete the project and then the students would present that project to the class. So if it's a topic that's very relevant to the course, that's one of the aspects of the project that can be considered by the faculty and the student. So that's in a nutshell how the honors program works. Can I go to the next slide? So here's our contact information. So the students or faculty or anyone who is interested in the program, as I said earlier, can contact me or Justin Eatman at the Northern Wake campus to talk about the program and to help students to figure out how best to navigate the process and to get them started. So that's, I think, all I have. If there are any questions, I'm here ready and willing to answer. So thank you very much again for the opportunity, and I look forward to hearing from you guys. Thanks.
Thank you so much. All right, everybody who's listening in right now, just want to say thank you again for listening, and thank you to our panelists this morning. If you are wondering how you can get involved at Wake Tech or what other opportunities are out there, you've heard this morning from 3 outstanding groups. And you can find more opportunities in addition to these on the Wake Tech website. So you have a couple of options. You can navigate to waketech.edu/student-life, or just go to waketech.edu, and in the blue toolbar that runs across the top of the screen, you'll see Student Life on the right-hand side. And this is what the web page looks like. There is more information loaded up here, but you can see we have an SGA group, Student Government Association. We have athletics at Wake Tech. We have student ambassadors. Wake Tech Extra is going to be a great site to help you connect to events and volunteer opportunities that are happening either at Wake Tech or some in the community. We have 40 plus student clubs. We have multiple athletic programs. Study abroad is another opportunity at Wake Tech. So take a look at this site, see what opportunities may relate to you or interest you, and get involved. We value your feedback, so if you will, please take time to either scan the QR code with your cell phone, or there is a survey link posted at the bottom of this slide. It'll route you to a survey so that we can capture your feedback of today's presentation and enter you to win for a prize drawing gift card that will take place at the end of the week after all of the sessions have concluded. I just want to say thank you one more time to our panelists this morning. I so appreciate your time and sharing this valuable information, and thank you all who have participated today. And now I'll open it up for any questions. Feel free to put them in the chat box or unmute if you have anything that you'd like to ask the group.